All right. I think we're all set up here. And then this can go away. So I'm going to do theme UI stuff today. Hey, Eco, how's it going? Good to see you. Don't know quite how I want to do this right now. Let's see. So the idea is that we're going to take theme UI, which has this JSX pragma, and we're going to try to make a way to instantiate that pragma with a custom context so that we can use this context in Gatsby themes without interfering with other themes. So maybe we build a small themes example and show that they actually conflict, and then build sort of the functionality to make them not conflict. I mean, a little bit of progress is good, Eco, for sure. And forms can be hairy for sure. Where do I want to do this? Let's do this in, yeah, let's do this in my namespace for sure. Theme UI themes stream pragma. So long enough get rename, right? So we'll set up a yarn workspaces situation here with two random themes. Packages star, and then we'll do packages gatsby-theme-a, packages gatsby-theme-b. We do need to set both of these up with a package JSON, so we're just going to do a yarn init in both with a Y flag, so I don't have to fill out all the data because I already have it templated out. Right, so workspaces need a private project, so I will make this private. And I will run yarn, and then I think that's good. I think we also need a site to play with to install both themes into. So we'll do another package here. Let's call it dub. And then we'll go back over to the code pane, which I need to make a little bigger so the stream can see it. And we will take www and we will make a Gatsby config. Of course, VS Code is yelling at me for something that I have no control over. Plugins, array, and either these won't take any options for now, I don't think. So we'll do gatsby-theme-a and gatsby-theme-b. We do need both of these in the package JSON. That's the big one. We need this one. So in www, we'll add dependencies. These dependencies will be gatsby-theme-a at 1.0. And gatsby-theme-b at 1.0. Thanks, Grant. Yeah, did a little bit of upgrading on that kind of stuff. Hey, Lori, how's it going? Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Glad you could catch the stream. Yeah, so we have both of these. We also need Gatsby. Oh, on Chicago time. Yeah, okay. It is pretty dope. I like it a lot, Grant. Highly suggest it. Gatsby, React DOM. I always forget if we need anything else. Khaled, you should be finishing your talk, but I appreciate that you're here. So. Okay, that's all that stuff. We should do source pages too. What are you doing in Chicago, Larry? And yeah, I guess I do look like a radio host because of the mic. I tried to play a little bit with adjusting the camera to not like before this thing was coming like straight from here. So I did move it aside a little bit, but still not a team jersey. Hey, I got my team jersey tattooed right on me, Robert, for sure. Hey, John, how's it going? Oh, good luck with the talk, Lori. That's awesome. What are you giving a talk on? Cool. I think this is all good. I think this will give us, well, it'll give us a site. It won't give us a site that does anything. Let's add an index file here. Export default props. Props gives us like a div or something. Doesn't really matter. We'll put an H1 here and call it our site. I'll save that. And this isn't really super interesting. I guess we should. So when we do this, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a page in each of the themes. And then, so in that case, we'll want a nav. And the nav will point to 2 different places that we haven't yet defined. So it'll be like LIA or link, right? We'll just call them A and B. Make it real easy. Cool. So this should all run. Provided I didn't forget anything. Oh, you've got 2 talks? That's a lot. I've never done 2 talks at a conference. Oh, you're doing one on RxJS. That's cool. John's been doing a lot of stuff with RxJS lately. 2 talks on the same day is a lot. For an hour and 15 each, back to back, you're nuts. That's ridiculous. That's a lot. How did you get pulled into that? Did you submit 2 talks and they both got like selected? It's a lot. Where is this? We'll add a script here. Wow. Was the person already scheduled to go on right after you? What? Yo, I would not be able to do that for sure. That's a lot. I mean, at that point, you're getting to like all day workshop, but for 3 different topics. This is your personal Iron Man. Yeah, sure. The talk triathlon. I didn't create index.js files. So for anybody that isn't familiar with Gatsby themes, you do need, because of the node resolution algorithm, you need to have an empty index.js, or you need to point main somewhere. Usually I just go with the empty index.js because it's easier. You passed a Nutella cafe? Wait, are you on like your phone in a car or something? Where are you? How are you moving and also have Wi-Fi? Oh, you passed it like earlier. Gotcha. I was gonna laugh if you were like tethering off your laptop or something. I have heard of 3G, Robert. Link from Gatsby. I don't know why I blanked on the package name there. It's not like it's a super interesting or weird off package name or anything. Cool. So we've got our site. We've got no page at A and no page at B, which is expected because we're going to get those out of our themes. And the thing that we are going to do is put theme UI into both of them. This is terrible OPSEC. Yes, it is terrible OPSEC. At least you haven't mentioned a hotel name or anything. I'm sure there are a bunch of hotels in a 5-block radius of the Nutella Cafe. Thanks for the follow, Darinator. Appreciate it. Yet, if you Google the conference, I'm sure the official hotels pop up. Yes. You should stop giving more hotel information in chat. Not that there's a massive amount of internet people here, but like it does show up on the VOD later. Okay. So now we're going to install theme UI. I think we're going to do it into, we might clone it because I do want to make some changes to it. I don't think we actually need to clone it though. I think we can just install it in both places and then I can work in a package that will do the pragma for us. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it in both themes. Just because it's sort of like an implementation detail. So logically, you would expect it to be in both themes. No, but it'll be on the Twitch VOD eco right after the stream ends. Theme adoption rate. Let's check. Why not? Uh, 201 results for 1325. So 201, 1325 it was, right? So 15% of plugins. I'm pretty happy with that number, generally speaking. I think that so theme adoption for the people who have the problem went really quickly, right? So Apollo for their docs picked it up really quickly. IBM picked it up really quickly. A couple other places picked it up really quickly. Like the people who felt the pain point picked it up real fast. The thing that's going to be the long tail and the longer like 5-year trend on this is going to be the wider community and the people who are like the WordPress converts that just want to install the theme and use it. That will be the longer tail, and that'll take a long time. BigCommerce, yes, BigCommerce is also working on some themes. Not that Grant would know anything about that. No, not many people watch that eco. It's not a big deal. I was just kind of joking. But it will be on YouTube for sure. I can cut that out though. It's based on packages tag Gatsby theme. So the way that we told everybody to do this is that like if you check into, I don't know, like a random theme or something like that. Also, this is just searching for Gatsby theme, but the way it pops up in here is you have to, if we look at this, we look at the package JSON for Trevor's thing here. This is the wrong one. That's not the package. Packages. I don't know which one is going to have it. But if you look at the package JSON, it has Gatsby plugin, and usually it also has Gatsby theme here. But Gatsby plugin is definitely one of the things. And then the naming convention, Gatsby theme, whatever, is the way that everybody is doing it. So if you look at the plugins list and you type Gatsby theme, it gets all of the ones that are named Gatsby theme. But hey, imagine 5 years from now when you hear shadow a component more often than install this WordPress plugin. It's Algolia powered, Grant. So Algolia has like an open source search tier. I don't know exactly which one it is, but there is some kind of open source thing here, I believe. And that's the index that's being used. Algolia npm index. I don't remember exactly which package it is. But basically, there's like an open npm index that Algolia has. There we go, npm search. And you can just search by like the keyword, basically. And it will index everything that you want it to index and then give it to you. So that's how it works. And the www site is rebuilding all the time, so yeah. And yeah, that long tail is going to be very long. Oh, hell, yeah. I still haven't added search to my blog. I need to do that. Okay, so we have theme UI in both things. For those who don't know what theme UI is, it's this. It's themeui.com. Very tough to remember URL, I know. Had too much serious discourse digitally today, which may be why I'm having trouble with jokes, for sure. No, Eco, I'm not going to paginate. But yeah, so this is the thing. And the thing that we're going to do today is we're going to implement this first. And we're going to use it with a theme object. And I'm just going to put the theme object in the root of the site, I think. Maybe I'll put it in the theme. In the theme might work the best. We can't use the Gatsby plugin because it has this problem by default and we can't break out of the Gatsby plugin easily. So I'm just going to go raw theme UI for now. But the idea is that there's this pragma here and it references this function. And if we export this function in a way that's bootstrappable, that means that we can bootstrap it and then use it here. And it will include our context instead of the global context, which means that gatsby-theme-a and gatsby-theme-b will be able to use different theme objects, which is, I think, the way that we need to do it moving forward, which I explained on Friday. So if you missed that explanation, it's somewhere in the Friday video. I go over it pretty in depth, but yeah, so they can use different theme objects, and then we'll add an option to each of the themes to pass in a theme object or a location to a theme object file or something like that. And then that will allow us to use the same theme object for both themes. In which case, now when you that means when you install a new theme, it won't break the one you're using, or it won't break the site you're using, right? So yeah, we're going to get into writing our custom pragmas today. I guess we'll just copy and paste the example. That seems good. That works. Let's do dub isn't what we want. This isn't what we want. I think we can just create a page. Heresy. I think we can just do a page in each of these themes. And this will, I mean, it won't work because we don't have a theme object in right now, but we'll label this too, and then we'll copy and paste this, and we'll do the same thing in theme B. Because these aren't actually different things, then the themes don't matter. Like, I don't know, whatever that TV show that Drew Carey used to host. Yeah, whose line? I don't know what that is. The stream is made up and the themes don't matter. Yes, exactly. Okay. So let's run this. We're not currently running it, I don't think. Well, I do have access to the mic, Lori, so I think that I am going to beat you on most speed competitions. What did I do wrong here? I didn't install emotion. We're not going to handle the MDX stuff today. We're just going to do the styling, system, UI, CSS stuff. Yeah, thanks for coming. Enjoy your, or good luck with your talks. That's a lot. Where is it? Emotion core. Where's the install? Why isn't it on the front page? Jackson, put the install command on the front home page. We're actually not going to use MDX today, so I think just installing the React is going to be fine. So, and then the next thing that we're going to do is, I guess we'll do it through the theme provider that ThemeUI uses. That's why we're not using the Gatsby plugin. We're using basically a manual setup here because what we want to do is fairly involved, and we want to be able to move stuff around and control what happens. Like this needs to be wrapping the root, and in both themes we're going to do the same thing. So if we go here and we look at A now, hello from A, B, hello from B, neither of them have any styles on them yet because we don't have the theme provider for either of them. And this will actually show the issue. So let's do, I think we should do B first, is how it will have to work. We're going to do a Gatsby browser. We don't need a Gatsby SSR because we don't build this. So what I'm going to do here is, I think we can export const wrap root element here. I always forget what the common JS requirements are. This is in props.children. This is going to be element. So now we have a ThemeUI powered theme. What we're going to do as well is create a theme.js file. I guess we can put that in source so that it's not just like hanging out here. And then what we're going to do in theme.js, just to make this pretty obvious, is use one of the defaults. Let's see, not the theme spec, not the object styles, not the color. Where are the presets? There we go. I think I need to install another package for the presets, but that's okay. So this is going to be ThemeB's theme, funk. I think it'll show up here if we click it. No, it only goes through Swiss and light and dark and deep. Actually, let's use Swiss if we can, because that makes it a little bit more of a conflict. So this will be Swiss, this will be a light theme, and the other one will be a dark theme. Yeah. I don't know if we need to restart. Does look like we need to. Right. That's why it didn't work. Yeah, and the reason we're doing this in each of the separate packages is because we're pretending that each of these came from a different npm package. Too far from the microphone, huh? Is my voice going very very off or very low when I go away? It's in a little bit of a weird position today. Oh, the pop can. Cool. So now B has a color of red. I don't know why it has a color of red. I think the Swiss is not supposed to be red. It looks like it is because, I don't know what's happening down there. But it looks like it's because this is not using CSS variables, and the CSS variables are not getting put in there. Because color, I believe, on this theme is supposed to be like yellow or something. Yeah, well, no, color is red. Never mind. It's all correct. Everything's good. I guess it's red. I don't know. Theme UI colors primary. That's the other problem. These are going to conflict. We need to not use CSS variables. How do we turn those off? Have I seen Sass modules? I've used Sass before. It's been a while, but I've definitely used Sass and Less and Stylus and all of that kind of stuff. Are Sass modules a new thing? Are they like building on top of CSS modules or something? So my question here is, are Sass modules adherent to the CSS modules spec that is going through right now? Or are Sass modules built on top of CSS modules, or are they a third thing? Use. So it's a completely new thing. Okay. I mean, I don't really use Sass, so this isn't super interesting for me, but I don't know. I feel like if you're going to do all of this stuff and you're going to do imports and you're going to do functions and you're going to do variables and you're going to do everything else, why not just use like JavaScript for it? Like why define custom percentage and custom Sass math packages and custom string packages and maps and indexes and all of that kind of thing? Why not just use something that already exists for that everybody knows? I actually don't know what that does. Is that option to the include? The meta.load CSS looks like meta is global. Loads theme dark with base color Rebecca purple. So you're bootstrapping a theme, I guess. But yeah, I think that while I'm sure this will help people who are deeply invested in Sass, and for that reason alone, it is great. It is not something I would choose for a new project. Okay. Need to find out where the documentation for the CSS variables is, because we need to turn those off, because if we don't turn those off, they're going to collide. What about bundle size? Or does use break Sass is what you're saying? Or I don't know. I haven't seen anybody talk about this yet. It looked like that thing I looked at or just looked at was posted like 7 hours ago. So not even related. I'm really I don't know. Like there was a reason that Emotion Core moved away from using CSS variables. And going back to them in Theme UI seems like they're much more robust now, which is great. But also it means that there's a global, like one global color here, right? It's Theme UI colors primary. And that cascades and inherits and et cetera, right? So not really. Oh, is that defining it? Is that why am I just being silly here? Yeah, that's just defining it. I'm silly. I don't know why I thought that was using it. So maybe it'll work because it works, because these are two different pages completely. But I would want to turn that off long term. So let's go with this. Let's take this. We're going to copy it into gatsby-theme-a. Hey Ben, how's it going? Did you stream today? It seems like I don't know. I thought for some reason that you had Mondays. That results in static CSS. So does a bunch of other things. And the CSS, the amount of CSS that you ship is usually not the problem. I don't know why. I don't know. I always think of you as being like right before mine, Ben. So that's why and I was running late today. So didn't get to even look to see if you were streaming, which is why I thought you were streaming. Okay, so let's put this in the other thing while I talk about this other stuff. Gatsby browser, this looks fine. We need the theme.js in source. This can save. We'll copy this out. This will be deep, just so we have a different style. So we're gonna have to redo this again, but yeah, that's the concern that I have. What just happened there? So yeah, Sass results in static CSS, but so does other CSS and JS libs if that's something that you particularly care about. One of the nice things about the way that the CSS and JS world works is that that looks broken. Did I mess something up? Oh, I'm gonna ignore that. Check console. Okay, so A is purple, B is also purple. So that's the problem with CSS variables right there. That is the, well, between CSS variables and the theme provider, if you have a theme in one and a theme in another, they collide. So in this particular case, it may not actually be the CSS variable's fault per se, but the issue is that the theme provider that we put in the wrap root here, not here, somewhere else, here, we have a wrap root in both of them, and A beats B, which means that the theme for A beats B and is used. So now we have theme B using theme A's theme, and we didn't mean for that to happen. So that's the thing that we're trying to fix. And it looks like the color is being defined on the heading. So if we can solve this with the pragma, it works out. I don't know why we're defining the CSS variable on the heading right there. I need to look into that. But yeah, so let's get into these two things. So it's this one, and we need A too. So instead of doing JSX from theme UI, we're going to create a new package. We're going to call this Your Party Corgi Tank Top came in the mail. We're going to call this Isolated JSX, which is a horrible name for a package, but this is a stream. We're going to add theme UI here because we're going to need it, because we're going to import from it, I believe. Actually, I don't know. They're not a thing yet, Grant. I keep getting told to make them, though. And I was actually, if there's a... one of these panes down here, I forget which one though, has my research on how to do stuff for that. Don't remember which one it is. Oh, this one. So I was doing the Shopify stuff last week, and yeah, so I could do it. I would, if I do it, I'll sell them at cost. But yeah, I think I'm going to set up a Shopify store on my personal site, and then I'll put the Party Corgi tank tops on there because I've been asked for them a lot now. They're not some. Oh, I didn't mean to get rid of that. Yeah, I've been asked for them enough that it's a thing, and if I can sell them on demand and at cost, then I will do it. Maybe with stickers, we'll see. Hey Bipsum, how's it going? We're using the U theme, the Swiss theme, for our theme UI stuff. So yeah, that's that. We need to create this new package. This new package will be, we're basically done with working with these themes. We're going to do the JSX stuff. The import here, we'll just do an index.js file. We're not looking to make this too complicated. The theme UI pragma is something we need to grab. So the first thing we're going to do is just take this directly and paste it in here. And we're going to swap over to using this one in our themes instead of the theme UI one. And the thing that we're going to need to change is that this returns a function here. And the thing that we want to do is actually bootstrap this JSX function with a context. And when we do that, we want to make sure that we pass it into the places that we're using it, like right here. So we're going to consume the context here and pass that into SX and then pass that into CSS. So yeah, I haven't done this before. Well, I've written like 4 pragmas that are in production right now, like the MDX one, but right now specifically, so if you look at this site over here, we have a site, right? I just killed it because so we have a site over here, and we have theme UI installed into 2 different themes. And as soon as this starts, I can start clicking around. I have theme UI installed into theme A and theme B, and theme B and theme A both create one single page. So this is theme B's page, this is theme A's page, but you can see that they are both colored the same color. And that's because theme A's theme beats theme B because of the way that the wrap roots and the content and the ThemeProvider combines. So what we're planning on doing is we're going to create a new pragma for theme UI that uses a custom context for each theme, so that when you do this thing here, you can bootstrap this function. And I can do something like const my JSX equals JSX context, right? And then this will be my JSX, and this we're trying to make this work. This may never reach a pull request state. Theme UI is technically Jackson's project. So I could go and submit a PR and convince him that this is a good thing to add. But yeah, it would be a pull request for a theme UI. Right now, all I'm looking to do is prove out the concept. But yeah, this is the idea. The idea that you can bootstrap a context. Yeah, this is personal time stuff. This is a thing. So on Friday, I explained that this is the way that I think we need to do styling and context in Gatsby themes, but that nobody's implemented it yet. And I was hoping somebody else would implement it, like the theme UI stuff would implement it. But since nobody's done it yet, I'm doing it right now. And then I'm going to show people, and hopefully more people will adopt it. And that's really my goal here. My goal here is to show, hey, this is the way that we could do it. And this is the effect it has on our actual applications. And it means that you can install 2 themes side by side, etc. And hopefully people take it and use it. That would be wonderful. But yeah, so the site is broken now because I changed everything here. But the thing that we're going to do right now is isolated JSX. We're going to import, I forget whether this needs to be outside or inside of the brackets. Yeah, for sure. That's exactly the reason I'm doing this. You know, maybe I just won't use default. Maybe I'll do and we won't default this. So now it's named pragma. Yay. So we import pragma as JSX from this thing. We'll do it over here too. Neither of them have the package installed yet, so I need to go do that too. I'll run yarn over here because that's required. And hopefully develop works. So yeah, we haven't quite gotten to, actually in here I should do something that like tells us that it's happening. We'll go to the site, we'll do a console, we'll get out here and we'll do this. And it's not being used in the home page, so that's cool. It's used here. So here we're still passing through. And here we are still passing through, which is great. It's everything we wanted it to be at this point. Is it only hosted, the Shopify thing? It isn't hosted anywhere yet. If you want to check it out, I can push it up to a Git repo and show it to you. I haven't pushed it anywhere yet. It will be pushed to a Git repo. I just haven't done it yet. But the Shopify thing works. So we got all that working on Friday. So if you want to watch the Friday VOD, then you can look into how that works. Yeah, it's going to be open source. Like that's the whole point of it. So I need to do it at some point. But the VOD is sort of the VOD from Friday. We got through everything, including all of the product rendering and things like that. And we put corgi stickers on the Shopify store, which is why everybody's asking me about corgi stickers now. Okay, so this is working. Everything's working. I think the next thing that we want to do is make this bootstrappable. Yeah. The syntax project is pretty dope, though. So this could possibly throw a wrench in my plans here. I haven't actually tried to see if pragmas work if you define the function like this. Seems fine to me, though. Let's add another. Oops, that is not enough. There we go. Am I still missing something? What did I miss? Can I not do that for functions? That's annoying. Yeah, sneeze into the mic now. Yeah, dude, I'm sure it'll turn out okay. I'm sure you'll get the syntax stuff up and running and working really well. When's the next time you're going to stream that? Parse props. So parse props is this, and then get CSS is this, and this is get CSS. So we need to pass the context through to get CSS. Maybe tonight. Nice. Yeah, I think Trevor and Dom are going to do a stream tonight. I forget what they're doing. I think it's Apollo, actually. I think it might be Gatsby themes and Apollo stuff. I mean, I'm sure you could coordinate with them too. So this is the function that we don't want anymore. So the way that this whole pragma works, to explain this, since I haven't actually explained it yet, is the original one is this function signature, which is a create element function signature. We look for create element in the docs. So react.create element takes a type, props, and a set of children. And you can see that it's the same thing here. And then we take emotion and we apply it. So emotion is the JSX pragma from emotion core. And apply is of call and apply whiteboard interview frame. And is related to the context that something is going to get called with. So if you're not familiar with apply, it doesn't really matter. This is like one of the only times that we're going to cover it in this stream. Basically, we are making the JSX function act as if it was called as the original pragma. But what we're doing is we're changing a bunch of the props before we call it. That's it. It's not super in-depth. And then, so we call these other two functions parse props and get CSS. And parse props doesn't super matter. I think, it doesn't even really do much. It just works on objects and pulls out some keys and then calls get CSS. Like there's no special functionality here. It's just pulling keys out of objects and stuff like that. And that calls get CSS, and get CSS is where the magic happens for this pragma. We've got an SX prop and a CSS prop. The CSS prop comes from emotion, and the SX prop comes from theme UI, which is this. And then the return value here is because you can pass a function into a CSS prop. This is the function that ends up being passed into the CSS prop. And then you end up getting the theme out of that function, which is the theme from the emotion theme provider in the root of the repo. What we are trying to do is get rid of this theme and use our own. So instead of passing back a function, we are going to pass back an object. And if we do this like this, where is this? We're basically going to consume the context and then pass back the styles and raw and whatnot as a prop into the JSX pragma. And this has some special handling for props.css being its own function, because you still want to pass the theme into the CSS prop if somebody's trying to use it. They'll just get the raw theme instead of the style system CSS theme kind of thing. And then, yeah, that's that. I don't actually know what CSS returns. I think it returns an object, maybe. Let's find out. Let's find out for both of these, actually. Console.log. Hey, Johnny, how's it going? Yeah, clap. So in this case, we have an object that is color and font family, and then we have the CSS stuff. So basically, I believe if you define something in CSS, it would beat out anything in styles. So let's check that to make sure. Yes. So anything in the CSS object beats out anything in the styled system object. Doing good. Yeah, for sure. So basically, the only thing we need to care about is this theme being the one that we want and not the one that is from the provider. So because we're passing in the context here, the other thing we can do is pass in the context here. And I think we'll make this just a second positional argument, because this is all internals. And it's not like it's going to break anybody, because nobody is depending on the way that this function works here. It's not even exported. So now we have the context here, and then we need to pass it into getCSS. And like this is just going to be a context from our theme. But in the future, we can probably put out a bunch of helpers to actually set the providers. Where is the... You think this is considered a component? I don't actually know. I'm wondering if we can do use context. I think we can use context here. This is going to be this. Going to be context. I don't think the capitalization matters. It's going to be theme. And then we're going to return an object, or we're going to return this down here. I think this is what we're going to return. Okay, so this is not use contextable. So get CSS doesn't count. I wonder if pragma counts. I wonder if we can just pass the theme in the whole way. We're going to have other issues because now that I've messed this up a little bit. I don't know if the pragma counts as a quote-unquote React component. So instead of the context here, we'll do theme. So we're just passing the theme object down. I don't know that this is the best way to do this. I'm just sort of doing it and seeing if it works. Okay, so now we don't have a context. So when we load this page, there is no context to get because we're not even passing it in. So let's do this. And this is create context as the default value. Let's set the default value to, I don't know, something. We could pass in the theme, actually. Let's pass in the theme. Import theme from. Right, and we could split this out into a new file. Let's call this like my theme context or something. Then we'll do my theme context. React is not defined. Of course it's not defined. Did I not import it in the other thing? Let's rebuild this to see what's going on here. Make sure that these errors are not actually, because a.js, oh, that is not React. Okay, so we see hello from A here. Which is cool. Hello from B should break, I think. Well, I can't even click on it for some reason. Yep, B breaks, A is good. So we're using the right stuff, which is dope. So let's do the same thing over here. It is not on NPM or anything. It is sitting right here in this folder, and it is just this file. I can put this on a gist if you want it. Is that dashboard? I always forget. Oh no. Oh no. Should I check out the new dashboard on stream? Or do you think everything will break? I'll send the message first. Check out the new dashboard. I am live. It's telling me I'm live. Let's see. What do you think the stream dashboard is? Wow, that's cool. I don't run ads, so that button doesn't matter to me. But this is cool. I like this. That seems like a much better dashboard than before. Here's all my stats for anybody that cares. Nice. That's dope. I like this. In any case, I don't need to stare at my dashboard after sending that message. But the dashboard is pretty dope. I like that. I'm glad I got the access. Okay, so we have this stuff. But yeah, so isolate JSX is that code over there. And that code over there is the stuff that we just wrote. The stuff that we just wrote is a JSX pragma. So it replaces the React create element and renders its own. And this one is actually reasonably complicated compared to any other one you might see, because it's taking the pragma or create element implementation from Emotion and applying it after modifying all of the props and everything, and passing the result into the Emotion pragma. So it's actually a pragma that uses a pragma that sends it into React. There's a bit more of an explanation about what each function is doing earlier in the VOD. So if you want to check that out, you can do that. Let's see. I think this is all good. I think this is technically works, right? Did I save B? No, I didn't save B. Got distracted. And we'll bundle this little thing up into a separate function or something like that. Because this isn't particularly ergonomic. But this is just proving out the sort of the approach. Let's refresh this. Let's go to B. B is red. A is purple. So there it is. That's our isolated pragma. That's literally everything I wanted to get done on a stream today. But yeah, so that is really exciting to me. I don't know how anybody else feels about that, but that is everything, literally everything that I wanted. And now I can clean up all of like the developer experience of actually using this. I can ship this as a package, and you don't actually need, so we don't actually need to, like we don't need to PR this into ThemeUI to use it. It's a separate package now. So I can just publish this package and people can just use this. And they're still using ThemeUI and everything. It just will work a little bit differently, and it'll be isolated as opposed to whatever. And then I can talk to Jackson and everything and see if there's a better way to get this merged into master. But I'm super happy with this because it was not, it didn't take very much to do that. For some reason, I thought it was going to be a lot more complicated. And then when I started talking about it on Friday, I was like, wait, this is going to be super easy. Yeah, so that's that. And the idea here is that your theme would export this stuff instead, and then anybody else that wanted to use it could. So somebody could pull it into their own site. Yeah, so that is actually everything I wanted to get done on the stream today. So I'm gonna end the stream there. Because I didn't eat after I went to the gym and I am hungry. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'll send you all off to raid somebody here. Yeah, appreciate it, y'all.